Andre Theodore, as you already know, and today we are going to create users within Active Directory. We are going to also create roaming profiles for those users. We are going to share a folder from the server to the roaming profile, and we are also going to map a network drive from the server for those roaming profiles as well. So no matter where the user logs on, he or she will see those folders on network drive. So what is the user all about? Well, once created, the user identity is confirmed by the domain controller, and log on to the domain lets the user access resources like data, apps, and even printers located on the network. Of course, user access will be limited to what is granted by your administrator. Roaming. Roaming profiles allows a user to log on to any PC on the network and access their files and documents, keeping the desktop experience consistent. So things like your desktop background or files you've saved will be there no matter which PC you log on to within the domain. Remember, you need to have your workstation join the same domain as your server, because it will not be looking within its own internal database for security, but instead it will be looking to the domain controller to be told what resources users are allowed and what rights and permissions are also allowed. Here we have a diagram of two workstations connected to a domain controller within an enterprise, and here the user can log into Windows Vista, save all his information, and he can go to the Windows 7 machine here on the next day and access everything that was saved here on the Windows Vista machine, because both systems are on the same domain and can connect to the domain controller. And the same goes here for Dr. Galen in this example. 3 different workstations in 3 different rooms, and no matter which one he goes to, he will authenticate here with the domain controller, and all his information will be available, as you can see here, on his roaming profile. So now let us set up our user. So here I am on my Windows 7 machine, and I am going to log in with the user we just created. So I'll go ahead and press Ctrl Alt Delete. And as you can see on this client, there's this is the name of the local user account, 7PC, and yes, I named the local user 7PC as well. But if we go ahead and we log into this, it will log into the local user account. We don't want to do that. We want to log on to the domain. So we will just click on switch user, go to other user, and type IronStorm, which is the name of the domain, /John, the user we created earlier, and his password. And there we go. It's logging on to the domain as John. So now that we are logged in as John, let me just show you here. See, John Theodore, his first name and last name appears here when you click on the start button. And when you right click on my computer and go to properties, you'll see the computer name 7PC, full computer name 7pc.ironstorm.com, which is the domain name. So we are on the domain as John, but this is not a roaming user profile, this is a regular user profile. Just to show you, if you go ahead and click new folder, and let's name that roaming example. Now if we log into another computer with this user John, we will not see this. But if we make it a roaming profile, if we make John a roaming profile, we will see this. So let's just log into another computer. Let's use our Vista client this time and see if we'll see this folder. We should not see it because John is just a regular user. We have not made any modifications in terms of our roaming profile user as yet. So now we are on our Vista client. So let's go ahead and press Control Alt Delete. And as you can see, similar to our Windows 7 client, it says Vista, which is the computer name / user. This is to log into the local computer account. So we are going to do the same and switch user, other user, type the name of the domain / username John and his password. And there you go, John is logging in. So you see now we have logged in as our regular user John. We don't see the folder we created on the Windows 7 client. But when we do make John part of a roaming user profile, we will see it. I just wanted to show you the difference here. So no settings, no desktop background, nothing will be saved for regular users. You have to modify the user account to be a roaming profile to see the different to keep the user account settings, folders, and background settings. So let's show you the same thing. John Theodore here. Right click on computer, properties, and yes, he's on the Ironstone domain as well. Alright, so now let's go ahead and create a roaming user profile. And we are also going to create a map network drive. So the first thing we're going to do to make our user profile, a roaming user profile, is create a folder on the C drive. And let's call that folder, let's say profiles. And now we have to share that folder. Let's go to properties and sharing, advanced sharing, share this folder. And we could go ahead here and click on permissions for everyone. We could add a different user group. Let's say advanced, and just type in domain users here. Fine now. And here it is, domain users comes up. Click on OK. And we can allow them full control. Click apply, OK, and as well administrators. Check names. OK, OK, full control as well. Apply, OK, and click OK. Click OK here. And our folder is shared. And please take note of the network path. You could save it in a notepad /server/profiles, because we're going to need this in a very short while. Going to close, and we're going to create a folder as well, a home folder to map a network drive to. New folder, name it home, and we're going to do the same thing and share this folder. Let's go to sharing, advanced sharing, share this folder, permissions. Make sure everyone is highlighted, and yes, we could allow everyone full control of this folder. Click apply, okay, because we want everyone to save their work or do any changes to the files if they need to. Remember, you could change those permissions later on. And the same for the home folder. Take note of the network path //server/home. So we'll need this later on. We could just come back and take a look at it. Now the home folder is the folder that we will map the network drive to. The network drive will be available to any roaming user that we allow to use the map network drive. So after we share these folders, let's go to our Active Directory. Go to Start, Administrative Tools, Active Directory Users and Computers. And then right click on your user that you created, go to Properties, and as you can see here at the top, there's lots of different options here you can set for your user. Lots of different tabs where you can add control or take away control from user. We have address where you can put in your more information for your user, where the person lives. We have account information in here. You could even add in another domain if there is any. And you can also change up the password options here to change password at next logon. You can also set the user account to expire. So if the person or user is working at your department until March 30th, then you could set the account to expire on March 30th. And here is a very interesting one. We have log on hours, and as you can see, this is 12 a.m., 8 a.m., 12 midday, back up to straight back up to 12 midnight here. And what you could do here, you could set what time or day you want the user to log on. So if I select this row here, which is Sunday, and click on the log on denied option, it turns white, just as this block of white is here that represents log on denied. So if the user comes to work on Sunday, they will not be able to log on because you do not want them to log on Sunday. Instead, you want them to log on Monday morning from 8 o'clock. And you select the row of blocks that represent that and click on log on denied. And then you would want them to finish at 4 p.m. in the evening. Click on log on denied, and that's it for that. And you could do this for any day of the week. So you could set up your organization just the way you want, and you could arrange times just the way you want. So I'll just click OK, and you could put in telephone numbers for your user here as well. You can modify your user job title, his or her department, the name of the company. Here we have sessions, we have terminal services profile, we have we just went through the account information. We could even set the which group we want your user to be a member of. So right now our user is a member of domain users. We can also make our user a member of the administrative group, but we won't do that right now. we'll cover those things in another tutorial. What we're dealing with right now is the profile tab here. So what we're going to do in the profile tab, we are going to set our user account to be roaming by using the profile path. So for this user John, we could go and double check the profile path. We could go to start computer. We go into the profile folder on our C drive that we created earlier, that we shared. That is where our user profile information will be stored. Go to its properties and click on sharing, and here you see the profile path. It's //server/profiles. So we are going to go back to the Active Directory, back to the properties of the user profile, and then type in the profile path //server/profiles, followed by a slash, by a variable called %, username %, and this variable will represent any username that you will be using. So it's just a universal variable that Microsoft uses within the Windows Server environment. And as we are here, let's set up our network drive as well. Let's map our network drive. So we're gonna click. So under our home folder option here, we're gonna click connect, and we're gonna leave it as its default. As the Z drive. You can pick any drive letter you wish, but we leave it as the Z drive, just the same as you have your C drive, your D drive. We leave the network drive we are going to map as the Z drive. So let's go to computer, where we created a home folder earlier, and do the same as we did for the profiles folder. Go to its properties, right click properties, to sharing to get this network path, and it's //server/home. Alright, so we just OK that, and we'll go back to Active Directory, back to the properties of the user, and let's type in //server/home/ same variable, username %. So this will represent any user we wanted to. So as we create users, we can do this if we want them to share the same network drive or be a roaming user, as we are setting up here right now. So go ahead and apply these settings. Click OK. And now we're going to test our settings by going to our Windows 7 client and Windows Vista client. So here I am on my Windows 7 computer. So I'll just press Ctrl-Alt-Delete, type in my password because my user and domain is already in automatically. So here I am on my Windows 7 computer, and you're going to create a folder here. We're going to name it created in Windows 7. Alright, so when we go to our Windows Vista machine, we will see the same folder. Please take note of our desktop background. It will be the same in Windows Vista as well, because this is what the roaming profile does. It saves everything to the folder we shared on the server, the profile folder that we created. All our settings will be saved there. So any information that changes here, it will be consistent throughout the domain. So if you would start computer, here you would see the network drive we mapped. As you can see, it's the same network path //server/home, So the home folder that is located on the server, and as we left it as the letter Z drive. So we have our C drive, D drive, and our Z drive that is located on our server. And this is the whole point of roaming and Active Directory. Everything is centralized on the server. So resources like printers and these home folders all will be centralized and stored on the server, which makes for very efficient security and sharing of resources. So you can just close this, and again take note of the desktop background and this folder we created, and let's go to our Windows Vista client, and you will see these settings will be kept and saved to the profile folder that is located on the server. So when we log off here, all the settings will be saved to the profile folder on the server, and when we log into our Vista client, we will pull those settings from the profile folder. So here I am on my Windows Vista client. So I'll do the same, Control O delete, and here you see the domain name, and my username is already in for me, and I just put in my password. The folder I created in Windows 7, and the same desktop background that we noted as well in Windows 7. So as you can see, the profile, our Roman user profile folder is working. It's keeping the settings on the server, and as we log in on any PC on the network in any office, no matter what floor, our settings will be consistent. So now if I go to computer, here we have the same network drive and the same folder we created earlier in our Windows 7 client. As you can see, it's mapped to the same server in the same place and the same drive letter //server/home drive letter Z. And that's it for roaming users and mapping a network drive. Enjoy.